One thing I learned today about giving an elderly person with dementia and enema, don't do it alone. Enough said. That meme I created today came to me mid-chaos, somewhere between the in-between. I thought it was funny, relatable, and layered. One of those lines that's funny to some, for some, serious for others, spot on for those in the caregiving trenches. My day began like many others. Wake Dad up at 6 a.m., give medication, hydrate. But the moment he sat up, I knew the routine had packed its bags and left the building. A particular squish, followed by an unmistakable smell. Yep, it was going to be one of those days. Naturally, today was also the day my senior helper didn't come. No nurse visits scheduled either. Dad had diarrhea for a few days. Volume and intensity bouncing like a yo-yo. He just wrapped up another round of antibiotics, which often bring side effects. But this wasn't just skin irritation or inflammation. I knew this pain, the way he winced while sitting, said it all. This was paradoxical diarrhea, both constipation and diarrhea at once. I call it the flow around. Solid matter blocks the exit, while everything else squeezes past like water leaking through cracked mortar. So I moved fast, laid down Chux pads like I was prepping for a levee-breaking flood. Bed, floor, bathroom path. Got Dad up, shuffled him to the sink, and after slicing away his diaper, started containment. They call them Chux pads because you chuck them. Single-use heroes of the home front. And no matter how many you lay down, the mess always finds a way to escape. Then he steps in it, cracks it. You know the scenario well, don't you, my fellow caregivers? From there, toilet attempt failed. Shower battle, epic. Resistance, high. Volume, loud enough to summon the gods. Pain, scared. I often say I wash my father like a truck, not roughly, but deliberately, with care and purpose. You try not to damage the paint, even in a storm, but the truck doesn't know that. It'll still roll over your foot. What I found confirmed my suspicion. Blockage was there, just low enough to be felt, but too large to pass. Manual extraction? Not an option. Dad wouldn't allow it, and he still packs a punch. Out of the shower, back to the bed, now a fortress of Chux. Be clean before landing, because yes, they'd walk through the minefield unsuccessfully, yet again. Then came the enema. Administering that alone? Don't. Just don't. Requires strength, dexterity, emotional fortitude, and probably soundproofing. I half expected the neighbors to call the police. And when it kicked in, oh, it kicked in. Quick trip to the bedside commode, but only partial relief. Still blocked, still painful, still very much not over. I lost track of how many times we went back and forth to the shower, each time trying to preserve dignity, manage pain, clean up the aftermath. I gave him fluids, black too low solution, hope. Might take a day or more. Meanwhile, he was exhausted, I was exhausted, and I knew this was too much to do alone. Honestly, maybe it was best I did do it alone, since there were no professionals available. If my senior helper, a non-medical aide who's wonderful in calmer moments, had shown up today, I suspect she would have completed her shift and then ghosted me forever. I thought that as I toiled. This is the kind of day that breaks gentler beings than me. Though I'll admit, I cracked more than a little. Finally, I set him up to rest. Layers of Chux, a pad over the diaper area. Let him sleep. I kept hydrating him, monitoring him, waiting. Lactulose bottle? Of course I dropped it. Don't lift by the cap. Sticky mess. Kitchen floor is still tacky. And then, just when I thought I might exhale, he pulled off the top pad, oiled it, and then tucked part of the sheets and blanket under himself. They too became casualties. So yes, another cleanup, another shower, more laundry, more everything. This isn't the end of my day, just a pause. I have more to do before the sun comes up. Some might wonder how I find the time or the energy to write this all down. But for me, writing isn't separate from caregiving. It's how I stay sane, how I make sense of the chaos. I was born with ink on my palms. It flows out without planning. My mind speaks fluently, even when my mouth says, "What the hell?" This isn't just a story. It's a real relentless day, a day in the life of a family caregiver. And the truth is simple. Never do this alone. Not the Enema procedure, not the cleanup, not the holding it all together. We can do a lot alone, solo, but there are things we should never do alone. This is one of them. One of the many. And later, I might laugh about today, some of it, but not tonight, not quite yet. I see some humor in it, but it hasn't sunk in enough yet. My fellow caregivers, we live this life. We slowly find our way through. We make mistakes. We choose to share them with others. We do not present the pretenses. We give of ourselves fully in caregiving and in our cautionary tales and life experiences. You're real, you're seen, and we can be heard by those willing to see and to listen. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again at another time.